Back on the Ports pregame show, Zach Bayrudy, joined by Ports starting pitcher Dan Straily. And Dan, a 3-1 record in April, an 0.96 ERA in the month of April. You're off to a great start. What did you do in the offseason to get yourself to the point where you came into this year, it looked like really prepared?
This year, having an idea of what's going to go on in spring training was a big help. Knowing that, what it takes to get ready for the season after just going in blind after the first year. Off-season, just lifted, ran through all that stuff. Didn't change anything from that aspect, but just had a better mental preparation of what was ahead of me.
Speaking of mental preparation, it seems like you're adding some things to your repertoire too, most notably a changeup, and I've talked to you about that before, and that's a pitch at this level that it seems like everybody's working on. It seems like you've really found a grip that you like on the changeup. How important has that been to your success this year?
It really has been a big key to it, just because it keeps the hitters off the fastball, which, if you don't throw, mid and upper 90s, the hitters are going to just time your fastball. And so that just adds another weapon to keep them off balance and keep them off that.
I talked to you about it before, but why don't you let the listeners know, what's the most difficult part of finding a changeup, developing it, and actually throwing it? It's not the easiest pitch to develop.
I think the biggest thing when it comes to changeup is just trusting it, because you go out and you make all the adjustments during the week between starts, and then it comes down to the game time just trusting the adjustments you've made and really and just throwing it, because a lot of times if you try to baby it and make it slow or make it move more, that's when you're just going to throw it down the middle or out of the zone. So,
how would you assess what you did last year with Kane County? You obviously did really well, second in the organization in strikeouts, third in wins, and fourth in innings pitched. Definitely got a lot of work in, but talk about how last year went for you at Kane County.
Last year was awesome, just because it showed me that I do have the ability to pitch over a 29-start season and go deep into a season feeling strong, and I felt a lot stronger at the end of the year than I did at the beginning of the year, and a lot of that is credited to just the conditioning, the shoulder program, sticking to that stuff, and just staying on top of it. But overall, it was a really good year. It showed me a lot about myself.
As a pitcher, is it intimidating a little bit to come into the California League? You guys probably hear how much of a hitter's league it is, but mentally, did that kind of cross your mind before this season?
It really did. Just because I heard so much about all the ballparks is really what we're talking about there in the Cal League. The ballparks are smaller and the wind blows. But at the end of the day, you keep the ball down, make your pitches, keep hitters off balance, you're going to be just fine.
A couple of weeks ago, you pitched real well before your start in San Bernardino. When you got to San Bernardino, a little bit of a struggle. You had a lot of friends and family in attendance, but bringing it back to the California theme, you grew up nearby San Bernardino in Redlands, if I'm not mistaken. Live in Springfield, Oregon, but you grew up a little bit in Redlands. Talk about what it's like to pitch in the Cal League and come home a little bit to see all these friends and family.
It wasn't the first time. When I was up in the Northwest League, I had an opportunity to pitch in Eugene, which is a sister city of Springfield, and so from that aspect, I've been there before. But it was really neat to come back to where I was born and where I was truly from, and so for me it was just a really cool experience just to get a chance to go back there.
What are some of the personal goals that you've set for yourself this season? Off to a fantastic start. You obviously would want to keep that going, but did you have any long-term goals in mind coming into this year?
The long-term goals I have for myself really were just keep developing everything and stay healthy, because everything else you can't really control. You can only really control what you do on the field and off the field. And so I just try to keep myself healthy and keep developing every day.
Lastly, whenever you pitch, you have legions of friends and family that like to email and wish you well. Do you have anything that you want to say to them, because they're always there when you're on the bump?
No, I just really appreciate all my family and friends that's really supporting me. It's a big thing in this game to have a support system behind you, because you are out away from home for 7 months a year, and without them, I don't know if I would be able to do it, honestly, just to be out here by myself. But just knowing that I have people back home pulling for me and just everywhere, it really helps out a lot.
All right, Dan, well, you're starting tomorrow, so good luck. Keep the good vibes going throughout the year, and thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
That's Ports starting pitcher Dan Straily. We'll come back and talk about the starting pitchers next here in San Jose. This is Ports Baseball on KWSX.